transition this one over to a different monitor.
All right.
There we go. Good morning, guys. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I'm going to blow this up a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. Morning, John. So let's get started. You know, obviously the crypto market didn't quite match what the stocks are doing, which is funny because not too long ago we talked about that the stocks didn't match what the crypto was doing, right? So it's kind of interesting to see crypto kind of decouple from the stocks. It'll still be impacted by the stocks, right? One thing I want you to watch out for, right? We've been talking about a gap fill. And so typically when stocks move up, crypto goes up, stock goes down, crypto goes down. But sometimes stocks will go up, crypto doesn't. But stocks will reverse and go down and crypto will follow it down, right? So right now stocks are just way high in the range, as you guys know. So the SPX here, you know, we can go, let's go to the 1 hour like we usually look at here. And I'm going to take off this just to declutter a little bit. All right. So you can see, I actually called this in the room, guys. If you remember on Friday, this is what we were playing. We did have our bull flag that popped up, our pump, our parallel channel. That played out absolutely perfect. I just wanted to kind of leave those lines on there to show you how to read that. But the bull flag is done, right? That's already played out. So now you want to kind of just take a look at what we got going on up here. I had another channel that I was following that actually played out as well in the after hours. But keep an eye out for the triple top right here. If that does happen, we're going to pull back pretty drastically. You can see that right here on the 1 hour, we did have a higher high, but we had a lower high on the RSI, which is typically beginning the bearish divergence. We did flip red on our divergence tracker, which is usually pretty good for a little pullback. So if you're not in any kind of put on the SPX or SPY, you're getting into a really good range, guys, that you should be looking put. I would not be looking call way up here. We can literally fall all the way down to 41.24, which is the 1 hour retest here. Bollinger Bands, you know, they're still spread on the 1 hour. So, and they're still green, right? But so keep an eye on the charts on that one. If you go down to a little bit lower on the 15-minute, you can kind of see that we're forming a little bit of a rounded top on the SPX, which is why I'm expecting a pullback, probably at least to this level that I have marked here, the 41.40, and that's a mark from previous, and it could be a little bit higher, right? Just because you got some peaks and stuff that I tried to grab, but you have, you know, what was once resistance. When it blows past it, see even here resistance, when it blows past it, it has to act as support to get a really big next level push. So I would suspect that, you know, around 414 on the SPX would be the next pullback. And then we do have two peaks here now that we can follow, right? So if we do get this pullback and it bounces off of this EMA or off of here, then I would suspect the next push up could go as high as this level. But keep in mind, you know, you guys know me. I mean, I trade gaps, right? And we are still way high in this gap. I mean, we could see as low as, you know, 3,900, right? And so we're just kind of floating in this gap. This fall here, I mean, on the SPX, arguably could be considered a gap fill, right, from this push here, right, which could drive us more north. But you know, it just it's kind of close for me, but it definitely could be. I want to mute the harmonic one. So again, you know, we have this little micro line here, right? But you also could take you know, this line right here and pull it across like this, right? And so what you're doing is you're capturing the peaks, right? And so somewhere up in here in this range, there's just, from a technical standpoint, there's so much resistance, so many trend lines in here that are saying it's going to have a hard time going forward. Now, keep in mind we have news, right? We have the FOMC stuff, I think Wednesday. And so once that comes out, if it is super bullish, news is the only thing that can just absolutely obliterate technicals. You know, but I don't suspect You can even see here, right, where we were just driving up. We had our pullback. We were driving up, pullback, driving up, pullback. So if you were to take puts anywhere in here, right, you're still good. I like to play the direction that is a little safer. And I don't mind fighting my way out of a little bit higher up here versus fighting my way all the way down to here, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with the SPX, and you kind of see the SPY. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I will zoom out. Well, let's go to the 1 hour, and we'll mute the harmonic one. So you can kind of see the same thing, right? So a lot of resistance up in here as it comes through, and then we have a low, which is based off of these 2 points here is our low. So just like here, right? We blew up, and then we came back. When everybody thought we were going to the moon here, we came back. We blew up, we came back, right? We retested, then we blew up. Now, this right here could be just the first portion, right? We could get a little pullback and we could go a little higher before the true pullback, right? And then we could even go slightly higher before the next bigger pullback. But at the end of the day, guys, if you really look at this and you zoom out, what do we have forming? Right, these green lines, I actually shouldn't even have these green. I usually will do these like purple or something because they're not really my normal trend lines. It's more of a pattern I'm following. But you have a rising wedge going on here. So we could see as high as this rising wedge, right, of 427 before it breaks down. Now, we are far enough into this rising wedge that it could just hit this top of this rising wedge and basically pull back, and then that's our breakdown too. So we're just so high in the range, it's not funny. If you look at the daily, or I'm sorry, the 1 hour on the SPY even, you can see, we had our bearish divergence right here, which did play out right there. And so we're just kind of like starting here. You have a little bit of a mini bearish divergence again starting up. So could we push higher? Yeah, I think we got a little room to go. I mean, I'd say with the SPY, somewhere around 417, 418, we're going to probably reject pretty hard. So if you're looking to be patient on a put, you could wait for that. And that's kind of this red line up here based off of prior highs, right? So right here, you can see this prior peak is also, prior peak back here. I mean, it's a pretty big resistance area. So just keep an eye on that. And then let's flip into the dollar. So the dollar, I was kind of looking at this earlier this morning, and there's a few things that I see going on here. You kind of have this rounded bottom formation, so I want to see how this plays out. This is on the 1 hour, but you have your low, your lower low, your peak low, then you have kind of an equal to this side low, and y'all know how I follow those rounded bottoms like that. So if we do also have this kind of descending triangle forming, and so that could be enough to push this down to retest this line. Here's the thing, guys, if you notice, every time it's hit this area, the 100.84 or so, it had a really crazy bounce, right there it did it, right there it did it. If we hit that again because of this triangle and we get a bounce, we hold support, that bounce is going to be significant. It's going to be like this, where we're going to just go all the way up to probably 104 or so. So that's going to drive the markets down. So it's getting into a squeeze area. So just be really careful in your trades. Don't overextend your leverage or your volume, because it could get pretty wild here, right? And we have FOMC, right? So that's going to make or break this pattern. So those news events are nuts, because when you get squeezes like this, because if you actually do get a bullish news for the dollar, right, which would be bearish for the market, then that would invalidate this descending triangle, right, which would push it north for a retest, and then that would push us north in a really, really big way. So the news is going to be a pretty big impact right now. So that's coming up. But you can see, as of right now, I mean, the dollar's struggling, right? Every time it pumps up, fell down, pumped up, kind of creating that lower high. It is fighting this EMA here. I don't really see any divergence or anything, per se. So the only thing I really see is that kind of that rounded bottom forming, which is on the 1 hour, right? So it could take some time. It could take a few days this week. I talked about this morning. If you guys were watching my pre thing, right, we had this kind of head and shoulder, and then that broke the neckline, retested, and that's what's driving this south right here. But we are near some support, so we'll see what happens with that. Total market cap, I'm not going to touch a lot on, just briefly. You can see some people had asked in the room why we had this fall. We had a rejection up here, came down, another hard rejection, and then this one was basically it's kind of the third, but really the second peak test, right, which pushed it down. Now keep in mind that the EMAs were really close on the 1 hour, so by driving it down like that, we are in a death cross. And so if you look, the last time we hit a death cross, right, it fell pretty far. Now granted, we were a lot higher in the range, so there's a chance, in the past where we could just do this, right? But it's really at a really critical level to hold, because you have your what was once resistance, right, trying to hold that support. So if this can hold this support, then we just go back up. You also, can take like a, little trend line like this, and you can see how these peaks, lined up, right? So it's no coincidence that we bounced right there. This is what we teach in the academy and in our room, right? Is this, because these bounces are massive for scalps, right? So you short this whole thing down, you know where to close it because you're anticipating a bounce. And then once it bounces, you can enter that short again, or you can just, scalp the long upward too. So from the 1 hour perspective, right, we're a little lower in this RSI range as far as oversold. So, can we go lower? Sure. I mean, we have, if you really zoom out, right, again, we have a big gap that still has quite a ways to go to fill. We have not retested this line in some time. Doesn't mean we're going to retest it now, right? I would need to see this hold for a few days. But also, like I said, the FOMC is going to make a big difference on that. So, Bitcoin, I'm going to mute that one. So you can kind of see our zone tracker where it's picking us up. We're right in the middle of the range. Our upper was around 29.8. Our lower was around 27.5, between that and 27.1, right? This is a super, super strong support so far. The only thing that's going to blow it through that, in my opinion, is going to be some kind of news to drop that through that. And once it does fall through that, it's going to fall fast. So keep an eye on that. Bollinger Band, we are getting a squeeze on the shorter time frame, meaning that typically a breakout of some sort is going to come. And you can kind of see, back here it's squeezed, for quite some time. But we did flip green on the bands, right? So typically leans a little more bullish than bearish, which means we might just see one good pump up. But this could be, guys, this could be a kind of a case of, a fall over, kind of accumulation, right? And then we pump, reclaim this. But we would need to break above this like 28.6 or so, 28.7 before we start seeing that push up. Now also keep in mind, what was once support will act as resistance, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing if you look at this side over here, right? So right here is where our support was at the 28.660, and that's why we're acting as resistance. So if that resistance can hold, right, if this EMA can try to hold it, then the likelihood of us having a fall 1, fall 2, fall 3 is a little more likely. So it's kind of in a pivotal spot right now since the fall here, but it's going to be heavily dependent on how the stocks open, guys. So just, if you're not in trades, don't push anything quite yet. Let's wait and see how the market's open, because see, pre-market's pushing north again, because of the dollar dropping. So if the markets open up and they start pushing north even more, it's going to pull Bitcoin with it. It will. And that's going to be enough to break this, which will give you the market hope, which is going to push everybody in to go long. However, if the markets open bearish and we begin to get bearish sentiment in the market, this is going to hold and we're going to have another fall. So right back down to 27 something. So as far as high lows, most people who message me want to know that. You guys know my stance on Bitcoin, that this is the upper channel I've been following, which has worked perfectly. I have shorted it almost every single time it touched this thing, and it's worked great. And we've only touched this once. Only one time, right? And this was off of here is where I started it. and it worked perfectly and shot up like a crazy, right? So we're going to retest this. It's going to happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen quickly, right? Like here around 22, 23, or if it's going to take a little bit of time and be up here, right around 23, 23.2. So, me, I can tell you, I'm already planning in my head on my ATAs. Anything around this line, I am not taking shorts. I'm not. I will take long onlys and I will ride that even if it goes all the way to 15K. I'll ride that. Obviously, the news may change my mind, but unless we break below this line, nope. It's just too risky because you're going to get caught in this right here. So, which it literally could just do this, break down, come like this, which would be our up, over, down. And then right here, you can get literally another bounce that could just take you all the way to here, just like this did. Right. So just be super careful. Know your range. Play your range. You know, what we teach in our room with our ATAs is always know your upper and your lower range, your bands, and be sure to play that direction because it's going to be safer for you. Because no matter what goes on in the market, what goes up goes down, what goes down goes up. The only thing in between is time. So Ethereum, I'm not going to touch on too much. I mean, it really is just following Bitcoin, guys, like crazy. You know, we did the same fall, right? Which it did catch that fall. It was actually pretty cool. We were trading on Sunday. I don't typically trade on Sundays, guys. But let me show you. Where is it? Right here. I'm on the 1 hour, so that's why it's a little bit different. So we put out in the room that if we break 29.4, right, because I had this downtrend here, plus it's just a good resistance level, that we're going to get a lot of volume north, and we're going to push probably to 29.8, 29.9. We actually pushed higher. We got to almost 30, right, on this. Or I'm sorry, 29.8, 29.9, not 28. And so we actually almost got to 30 on this one, right, before, and then, but we also put in the room, if we get to that, it's going to likely reject back. And so it literally, I don't trade on much on Sunday. I did a TikTok on it, but I caught this long through this break, and then I flipped it and then caught the short, and I closed that somewhere around there. So I did catch this one right here as well last night, the fall, just because it came up and it retested and couldn't hold, right? Flipped the EMA right here, retested it, and that's what causes that down we go. So we got about 12 minutes left. Let's jump into the ATAs. So let's see how my AVE is. I honestly have not looked at these guys. Sometimes on the Sundays I do, but I know the market was going down, so I wasn't concerned about my ATA. I had no worry. All right, so my AVE short on the 1 minute looks like it's doing pretty well. So y'all remember AVE, I put a DCA in here. I think, let me look and see, because I think I did a second DCA, yeah. So I'm going to take that second DCA out, and then we'll delete the alert because I don't need it anymore. And I'd rather not run the second one. Gambit, AVE short, all right. But you can see how patient this thing was, right? So it got stuck right here. I had a DCA level just above this one. If I let the DCA level go on the auto, it would have got out a long time ago, but it still got out in really good profit, and then it shorted it since. So I'm just going to continue to run AVE short. I think we're still in a good position. So not sure what's going on with the stats bar. Oh, it's been on since 4/13. I wonder if TradingView must have something where after so long it likes to kick out my stats bar, because I notice it's doing this more and more. Let me see if I move the date up a little bit, if it brings me my stats back. Nope. I'll look at this a little bit later and figure out what's going on. There you go. Now it's calculating it. Yeah, see, it's coming back. So, yeah, so we'll take a look at that. But either way, we're in a short. We're looking pretty good. I got my AVE back on there, so we're going to leave AVE. So let's take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, remember, I'm running both ways. So I don't know if it got caught in a long on that or not. It could have. I guess we'll find out. So, oh my gosh, look at this. Guys, I did not look at this at all. It caught that whole freaking short Love it. Look, it entered right at the fall. Caught it all the way to TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 that it caught. You got this one right here, TP 3. I mean, it's just been killing this all the way down. What a really good DCA there. We're in a short now. Looks like it hit profit and shot back out too fast. So it's just kind of hanging out. We haven't DCA'd once, so we're good. Let's see if we got stuck in the long. Yep, we did. Looks like we got stuck back here. Let's see what it's done. I think I've only allowed one DCA. So yeah, so we've been stuck. Oh yeah, we were stuck in this one since Thursday. That's right. I forgot we were still stuck in this one. I don't like the kind of the little rising channel we got going on here, so I think we're gonna fall again. But what we can do, let's add a second DCA on ETH, but let's put it down here somewhere, just above like 1780 or so. So let's put it at like, let's try 10. Let's see where that puts the line. A little bit low, so let's try 8. No, see that's gonna mess up that. So let's see if 9. I'm trying. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm finding a range. It may not put it above here, but I want to keep it to where it doesn't impact the trade. Right? It didn't actually take the DCA, and so it looks like 9 is fine, and that puts us right at this red line. So we're good. So let's go ahead and do that. So all we do is just delete the alert. ATA Gambit ETH long. All right, so now we're in a good spot for our ETH. I'm not gonna worry too much about the short at all. What else do we got? LTC. I legit got so much going on, guys. This is why I use this as my to-do list, my alarms, because I forget sometimes what I'm even running. Okay, so we have a short. Look at LTC caught the short too. Man, love it. LTC caught the short too. LTC is in a short right now. Am I in a long in LTC too? Yeah, I am. So let's see what the long did. Okay, look at this. Look at that. Bought it, DCA'd at the bottom, sold it. Very nice. 4 days, 76 bucks on this one. That is awesome. But look at this. Look how well it can do this. In a downtrend, playing longs, scalping. And we're not in a trade right now. We're good. Just hanging out. So I'm actually going to I don't like the range the stocks are in it. So, and I know we still need a gap fill. I'm gonna stop my long on LTC, guys. If you're following along, you want to take the risk and play it, you can. I'm only gonna run ETH long. Other than that, I'm just gonna roll the shorts for today. I'm gonna see how Monday plays out. I may turn it on back on tomorrow or something. We'll see. So that's my ETH, my LTC. Okay, so we just have Sol to look at. Let's see. Man, look, every single pair that I'm running short caught that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. See, Sol did this too. So if it does do this, guys, you can just move your dates ahead. I think TradingView doesn't like to go a certain amount of days back, is what it is, and so it basically messes up. It's not like they allow you to run a forever stat, right? So as long as you can move your date like this up, as long as it doesn't adjust the trade that you're in. See how I'm in a short, right? And if you want to like see how far back you can go, right, before it messes it up, yeah, see when I change the date, see how that does that. So see how I can change the date and none of my trades changed, but I can still see my stats. So in the past 11 days, I made $105 on Aave, or Sol. Keep in mind, guys, Sol is the one I'm running a stop loss. It has done 64 trades with no stop loss. 64 trades. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do something on Sol though, because I do have the FOMC meeting, so I don't want to really overextend my ATA too much. So I'm going to show you guys, for those who haven't seen it, how do we get it to stop here, right? So all you have to do, this is the simplest way to have it finish this trade but not take any more trades. So you're going to open up your settings here. I know where it took the short, right? So I'm just going to scroll down. It has not DCA'd yet, so I can still leave my DCA in there. It has not touched it. I can still leave my stop loss in there, right? All I'm going to do is I'm going to take my date and I'm going to move it to exactly one candle before this one. So the first at 8 a.m. So 5, 1, 8 a.m. And then I'm going to change it to enable existing trade. And that's going to basically put a yellow one here, and it's going to put a short here. But the short's going to be a different kind of short. It's an existing trade short. So an existing trade short will only take one trade, and then it's out. It won't take any more. This is a way for you to stop something, right? Or to put it in there so it will finish that trade. You don't have to take a loss, right? I could close it and take a loss right now. I'm still net green, but I think we're going to come down, so I don't want to do that, right? But I don't want to take any more trades after this. I'm good with Sol. So all I have to do, you saw how fast I did that. You take your existing trade that you're in, do one candle back because it has to close it before it forces it, right? This kind of color right here means that you've forced a trade. You told it, hey, I want you in a short. So now it's in a short. Once it takes profit, it will not trade again. It's done. So I don't have to worry about it anymore because Sol is either going to stop out, right? Or it's going to close out, and then I don't have to touch it anymore. So that's literally how fast you can do that, guys. And so I'm going to close that alert. Remember, anytime you make an adjustment, you have to kill the alert. ATA, Sol, and then I might put like existing short. That way I know that it's an existing, so it reminds me, right? Because I gotta get a lot going on. And that's it. I don't touch Sol anymore. So now what that's going to do is once that one gets out, I will be done with Sol, and then I'm just going to be running Aave, ETH, and LTC. I may let Aave run today, maybe tomorrow, but during the FOMC, I'll probably go down to just ETH and LTC because, guys, if it goes parabolic and I'm wrong, right? I don't have a crystal ball. Then I don't want to fight too many pairs. So if you have the margin, I mean, you really could. You could play both ways, long and short, if you wanted to. Just only do one DCA on that. Don't do more than one DCA, guys, because that way you got room to fight your way out of it. But that's kind of where I'm going to go with. That's my setup, guys. Aave short, ETH long, ETH short, LTC short, and then Sol we're going to get out of once that's done. So we'll let that play out. So we save that chart. That's my ATA setup, guys. If you guys want to come in the room, you guys can come on in. If you're not a member already, you're just watching. We do have our trading floor in here. This is where I'm going to put, we do a lot of guidance through the room in here. And this is also where I'm going to put the information to this Google Meet. Basically where we're going to hang out. So what I'm going to do, guys, a little different is I'm going to copy this joining info. And I'm going to paste it here for you guys. So those that are in the room, y'all are welcome to start joining here soon. If you guys are on TikTok or YouTube, you guys want to come in, literally all you have to do is sign up with an email for free. And you can come in here. Doesn't cost you a credit card, nothing. You can hang out with us, check us out, see what we got. We charge you mostly for the products that we do, indicators, buy, sell signals, all that stuff, the automated trading, not necessarily for all the basic education. So if you are new and you have no idea what I've talked about at all, but you really, really want to learn, we do have an academy here that is for you. This goes over all of the fundamentals of trading that all the way down to what is a candle, right? Which if you don't know anything, you probably don't know what a candle is even at all. So this is for you. But it'll help you understand the lingo of what we're talking about and through the markets and stuff. And then we also do, I just uploaded the course 8, which is how to use automated trading to maximize the profits, how I read the charts to determine which direction I want to send my ATAs. So 9 o'clock, I like to keep it prompt. TikTok, if you guys want to hang out, I'll look, see if you guys commented. Everybody else, I'm going to